Bicycles were the big news this weekend as ground was broken for a trail extension, and dozens of professional cyclists turned downtown into a racetrack.
Plus, there are lifeguarding jobs available. We'll have these stories and more.
Summertime has arrived in East Alabama a few weeks early. We'll talk about a warm forecast coming up.
Coming up in sports, we have a couple good news stories. One local athlete overcoming cancer and throwing out the first pitch, and two teams making the playoffs in baseball for the first time in quite some time. We have more on all of that in just a minute. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
Thousands of people came to downtown Anniston Saturday to celebrate the annual Noble Street Festival. Animal shows, music, and food were big attractions, but the main calling card was the Sunny King Criterium. It's an officially sanctioned bicycle race that featured professionals riding their bikes at up to 80 miles an hour through Anniston's business district. In addition to the professionals, children were able to take part in the races around the same track, and local amateur cyclists also held informal competitions throughout the day. The rest of the festival took place on Noble and surrounding streets, with local bars and restaurants participating in the city's entertainment district promotion. Food trucks and other local vendors were also set up for the day.
When we come back, work has finally begun on the Chief LGA Trail that runs down the backbone of Calhoun County.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Local officials gathered Friday afternoon at the Michael Tucker Park in North Anniston, which for years has been the trailhead for the Chief LGA Trail. They were there to break ground for a 6.5-mile extension of the trail, which will go from Tucker Park into downtown Anniston and end up on West 11th Street near the new city marketplace. The city of Anniston is funding the extension at a cost of over $6 million, and Mayor Jack Draper says the project is worth the money and the effort.
This trail will have a tremendous economic impact for our city and region. The benefits for this extension will be felt through each of the city's 4 wards, and I anticipate further meaningful development along the trail. This is an investment, and it will have significant returns. In that, I am confident.
And Draper says the LGA Trail extension should benefit Anniston and the entire community by making people aware of its natural resources.
We truly believe that when people come here to ride and avail themselves of other ecotourism activities, they'll not only want to come back, but they may actually want to stay. And we believe that because this is a truly wonderful place to live. God has blessed us richly with tremendous natural beauty and topography, and for that we're truly grateful.
It has taken the city years to get all of the rights of way for the trail extension, which will go through sections of North and West Anniston following the route of the old Norfolk Southern Railroad. City Manager Stephen Folk says the final section of the trail, which should open to the public by late summer 2025, will be worth the hard work.
On April the 10th, I celebrated my 29th anniversary with the city of Anniston. When I came to work for the city of Anniston in 1995, we were talking about the LGA Trail being a reality. And I think now, look at where we are. We are here right now getting ready to break ground on something some people said would not happen.
When we return, officials have determined the identity of skeletal remains found in a local forest.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Area law enforcement officials have identified the human remains found in January near the Calhoun-Cleburne County border. Investigators say the man was 43-year-old Nicholas Turley of Talladega, who was reported missing in November. He was identified by state crime lab technicians using dental records and DNA samples. The cause of Turley's death is listed as unknown at this time, but an autopsy is still being performed.
Because of mechanical issues, city workers have removed the recycling trailer at the Anniston City Meeting Center on Noble Street. Officials say they don't expect the repairs to take too much time, but they are still evaluating this issue. In the meantime, Anniston residents may use the recycling trailer at the Norwood Hodges Community Center in Golden Springs.
The YMCA of Calhoun County is now hiring lifeguards. Senior Director Demetrius Hardy says they have several shifts available for teens and adults looking for part-time work. Lifeguards are needed Monday through Friday for the 5:15 a.m. shift and the 9 a.m. shift and the 4 p.m. shift. They also need lifeguards on Saturday from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Meanwhile, the Y is also offering 4 lifeguard training classes starting on April 26th. Each class requires 6 hours of independent coursework and 21.5 hours of classroom training. Students who successfully complete the course receive a Red Cross certificate for lifeguarding, first aid, CPR, and AED. The fee is $190 or $175 for YMCA members.
And what a weekend it was. Let me tell you, the Anniston Festival, the Criterium, it couldn't have been better.
It was gorgeous. Hopefully that is a trend that will continue.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
And let's check with John Holder, who joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. John?
Mike and Katie, no need to cross your fingers. We've got great weather coming up all week long for the most part across East Alabama. We'll have the complete forecast details next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
85 degrees for the high today across East Alabama, about 10 degrees above average for the middle of April. This is the temperature that we would normally see in early June in Alabama instead of the middle of April. Low temperature this morning about where it should be, 49 degrees. Our average is 50. Very close to a record high temperature today. The record high 89, just 4 degrees away from that. 32 for the record low. And the sunrise and sunset times, they continue to get longer. Sun rising on your Tuesday morning at 6:11. The sun setting this evening all the way at 7:15. This evening, weather on your street. We're going to take out to Church Avenue in Jacksonville. Mostly clear skies tonight. The low only dropping down to 58 degrees, much warmer than last night. We'll be in the 60s and 70s for most of the evening hours. A very pleasant April evening all across East Alabama. Coming up tomorrow, we got more of the same. Maybe a few more clouds tomorrow than what we had today. No rain in the forecast. Central City Lane out in Welborn and western Calhoun County going to be fantastic. 83 for the high tomorrow afternoon. Another fantastic spring day coming up. The rest of the week, for the most part, is going to be good. We've got a couple of chances for rainfall in there, but basically this is going to be June weather for the rest of the week. Fowler's Ferry Road on the river at Southside. You're accustomed to seeing all that great river weather coming up in the summertime. We're going to have that earlier today, this week, all throughout the week. We're going to see temperatures in the 80s all week long. Folks will be, no doubt, getting out and enjoying the river over in Southside the rest of the week. Speaking of the rest of the week, here is the 7-day forecast. Just a couple of flies in the ointment the rest of the work week. About a 1 in 3 chance of a shower. Very light and spotty Wednesday afternoon. Then another chance for a lighter spotty shower Friday afternoon. Rain chances both days about 30%, but look at these high temperatures. 80s all the way through. Looks like Thursday may be our warmest day so far this year. Coming up, 85 for the high on Thursday. Nighttime lows mainly in the low 60s. A little bit unsettled as we make our way through the weekend across East Alabama, as we'll see temperatures coming back down closer to normal for this time of year in the 70s. Nighttime lows remaining in the 50s, and we'll have a 30 or 40% chance of a shower on Saturday and Sunday. Not an all-day washout by any stretch of the imagination. Just be ready for a light passing shower during the weekend. As we look ahead to kind of what is causing all of this or not causing all this, normally middle of April in Alabama, we're talking about severe weather. We're talking about showers and thunderstorms, April showers bringing May flowers. Well, what's happening is all the action is, again, just like summertime, it's more out in the Midwest. The severe weather threat is in places like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, places like that. And that's here in the South, we've got nothing but high pressure, and that means dry weather, all the fronts, all the action, all the showers, thunderstorms, severe weather staying to the west and to the north of us. That could change, but for right now, the next 7 to 10 days, it looks like we are going to be on the calm side here in East Alabama. And we'll certainly take that in the middle of April in Alabama. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6 a.m., as we will have your complete day at a glance for you. I'll be back here tomorrow evening with AA and local news as we'll take a look at the forecast for all of East Alabama for the rest of the work week. It's sports time now. Namath Fisk going to talk about a special first pitch at a high school baseball game in East Alabama. Namath?
Thanks, John. One of the reasons I got into broadcasting was for good news stories. Well, we have a couple today, but I want to start with the Oxford baseball team and tell you a little bit more about Dean Thompson. Dean Thompson is a freshman at Oxford High School. This past fall, Dean found himself at Children's Hospital in Birmingham, where the doctors informed him that he was battling a disease called leukemia. You can only imagine the emotions and feelings for Dean and his family that day. Dean since then has been fighting cancer head on and has recently beat leukemia and cancer. A talented athletic freshman got to return to the field where he threw out the first pitch before the Oxford Yellow Jackets varsity baseball game against American Christian Academy. You see Dean right here on the mound, such a special moment as he gets ready to throw out this first pitch after overcoming cancer. Dean is an inspiration. And what an incredible show of support by Oxford and Coach Travis Jansen. So I'm going to hold for just a minute as you see Dean right there throw the first pitch. What an inspiration. Dean Thompson, freshman at Oxford High School, who overcomes cancer and returns to the mound to throw the first pitch to the Oxford Yellow Jackets baseball team. 2014, that is the last time that White Plains baseball has made the playoffs. But that has now changed in Blake Jennings' first season as the head coach. 6 seniors have overcome so much adversity and have finally secured their spot in the postseason for the first time since 2014. They did this by defeating Cleburne County this past Saturday 10-3. It was a decisive third game winner-take-all in Class 4A Area 9. White Plains is now set to face defending 4A state champion Etowah in the first round of the playoffs. It will be a doubleheader starting on Thursday at 5 p.m. with a potential Game 3 on Friday at 5 p.m. Several seniors for White Plains include Paul Wabi, Cooper Tinney, Braxton Curls, Coleman Ray, Ian Douglas, and Flynn Tillison. They have been instrumental for White Plains and deserve this opportunity to play postseason baseball. Cooper Tinney in particular excelled both at the plate and on the mound against Cleburne County, pitching a complete game 4-hitter with remarkable command. Cooper Tinney has battled adversity when there was uncertainty about his pitching future after a partial UCL tear in his right elbow during his sophomore season. Speaking of adversity, Coleman Ray He returned to the mound this year for the first time after not being able to pitch for 2 years due to an injury. Congratulations to White Plains, and we wish them best of luck in the playoffs. Jacksonville Christian Academy entered a series with Faith Christian, needing 2 wins to make the playoffs. They won Game 1, but in Game 2 they trailed 7-0. Tommy Miller then got ejected, but nonetheless, Jacksonville Christian stormed back and made the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Jacksonville Christian Academy beat Faith Christian 14-4 a week ago, setting up this past Friday's rain-postponed game to determine which team would make the playoffs. Faith Christian jumped out to a 7-0 lead. There was some disagreements between Tommy Miller, the head coach of Jacksonville Christian Academy, and the umpire crew, which led to Tommy Miller being ejected and watching from outside the field. Down 7-0, your head coach gets ejected. That typically means that the writing's on the wall, but not for the Jacksonville Christian Academy Thunder. With 2 outs and a playoff berth on the line and a 3-1 count after storming back, Travis Barnhill would be hit by a pitch, and that would conclude the 7th inning rally for JCA. That scored the game-winning run for JCA. Jacksonville Christian Academy makes the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. They will travel to Athens Bible for the first round of the state playoffs. We want to thank Andy Kirkland for the video that we used for Mr. Dean Thompson. We love some good news stories, and that is it for EA and local sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for that update, Namath, and thank you for watching us today.
You can find us here online every weekday on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or our website. Just go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather content whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Tuesday for your news on your schedule.